From the racing capital of the world, it's di9 Designs. Turn down for what? Xfinity Series. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway hosts this 9th round of competition. Hunter Peach and Corey Blevins have control of the front row. Shout out to 2WI Gaming Productions following yesterday. Also, AJ Whitehead, Explorians in the chat cheering for number 21, Chris Murphy. He says, good evening. Let's go, number 21. Fans at home, put your favorite driver in the chat. Let's hear who you're rooting for. These drivers are waiting for that pace car to peel off. Typical Life is in the chat. He says, yo, let's go. The pace car will peel off. Cars 26 and 48 have control of the front row coming to the line. Green flag is out. Let's go racing at Indianapolis.
Green.
Off the fourth corner, and Hunter Peach leads the field with last week's winner, Braden Holt, who put on a brilliant masterclass in his win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, sitting in that second position. Corey Blevins sits just behind him in third in the number 48 Flat Out Motorsports Chevrolet. Then it's points leader Nate Lehman in the 1-4 Midas Ford. Will he have the golden touch in this race, looking for his third win this season? He would be the first driver to capture his hat trick. There is the margin between Nate Lehman and Chris Murphy in the second position. Lehman with 294 points to Chris Murphy's 268. A difference of 26 markers. Typical Life 9 says, boo Holt. Not a fan of driver 54 sitting in second. Points leader Nate Lehman sitting 6 possessions ahead of Chris Murphy. That's where Explorian is cheering. His 2-1 car sits behind the 8-1 Jumpman Ford of John Osborne in the 9th position. Braden Holt with a 54.15 seconds has the quickest lap of this race, and it is a very long 2.5 mile journey around this four-cornered Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but the long straights give to fantastic drafting opportunities. Master Killer in the chat says, that 21 scheme though, talking about the Safeway Supra of Chris Murphy, sandwiched between the 8-1 Jumpman Ford and the 3-7 Snap-on Mustang of Jeff Lednum. Murphy currently running in 10th behind John Osborne. At the front, Hunter Peach continues to lead in his Supra. Braden Holt thought twice about going for that move around Peach, but the 2.6 Ream Supra leads the 5.4 Valvoline Camaro, and then it's the 4.8 Flat Out Chevrolet ahead of the Midas Mustang. Rounding out the top 5 is Kyle Taub in the KT's Designs Ford. Single file for the most part. Corey Blevins now breaking rank. He's looking to the inside of Braden Holt in the 5.4. This the move for second place. If you've just tuned in, you haven't missed a thing. Hunter Peach led every lap so far. Corey Blevins with a textbook move around the 5.4 of Braden Holt. moves into the second position. Nate Lehman sits in fourth. Kyle Taub in fifth. Blevins looking to the inside of the 2-6 Ream Supra. And that fruit isn't ripe just yet, but Blevins wants to pick it anyway. Looking to the inside of the Ream Supra, who has the inside line and the advantage. Where is Corey Blevins going to get more speed to find his way around that Supra? Blevins now to the inside line, through the short chute, in 3 and 4, to the inside. Corey Blevins now takes the lead at Indianapolis. Car 48 to the front. Hunter Peach now on the outside. There's a duel for third behind him. 5 laps complete at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. New leader, car 48 on this 6th lap of competition. Toyota Chevy, your top 3. Last week's winner, Braden Holt, sitting in 3rd. Josh Arnold in the 2-2 Pennzoil Ford, looking to the inside of Kyle Taub. And the Mississippi native will take 5th. Again, drivers will be single file for the most part. Passing must be done clinically. Very little margin for error passing in these corners, and one wrong move, because these corners are so very long, could destroy all the speed coming down either of the straights. Master Killer 737 says, I don't know if I'm the only one, but the Joey Logano's number on a Steve Parks scheme ruins it. I like it. I think it's a bit of a blend of old and new. At the same time, it's not like Josh Arnold can just go to the number 1 car. He's been flying that 22 proudly for quite some time. J-Paw, as he's known, J-Paw Arnold sitting behind Nate Lehman and Braden Holt, who seem to be swapping positions at the moment. Points leader Lehman looking to the inside of last week's winner Holt. This is the move for 3rd. Can't make it stick thus far. He's going to have to use the momentum out of turn number 4. It's a Chevy, Toyota, Ford top 3. Now that Nate Lehman gets around the 5-4 of Braden Holt. Further on back, Wisconsin's Matt Boone trying to make headway through the field. He's working on Adam Taylor in the number 5 CarQuest Chevy. Let's ride along with the Rhinelander, Wisconsin native in the Federated Auto Parts Camaro. Matt Boone currently sitting in lucky number 13th position, getting around the 5 of Adam Taylor. Taylor's on the high side now, well out of the racing line, loose out of the first corner. But Enrique Quinones in that number 9 Michelob Chevy just can't pull off the move. Quinones finds himself in 14th. Taylor in the, Quinones 15th, Taylor 14th. Down the back straight, you can see Quinones in the 9 just trying every which way he can to draft. And that's how these drivers are going to have to get around each other. Nate Lehman in that 3rd position, all up the backside of Hunter Peach. He wants that 2nd spot, while Corey Blevins is running away with this lead. Drivers floating out of turns 2 and 4, up the banking, trying to maximize all that straightaway speed, and the 1-4 of Nate Lehman looking to take advantage on the 2-6 of Hunter Peach. Through this fourth corner, Nate Lehman looking to take some advantage. He's right on the bumper of that 2-6. Lehman is there, but will he be able to make that move stick? The 14 Midas Ford just yet can't dive to the inside as the cars proceed past the pit lane exit. There you see the 9 of Enrique Quiñones making moves. Or I apologize, that's not the 9 of Quiñones, that's the 38 of Boone, who's got a bit of a drift going on out of the corner. Jeff Lednum in the 3-7 Ford was getting around Byron Jones in the 44. The 8-1 of John Osborne has made his way into 9th. Chris Murphy sitting 10th. Cole Snyder, the Pennsylvania driver, in that 2-4 DuPont Chevrolet, sitting 8th right now, half a second behind Jose Ruiz. And this is going to be the difficult part for these drivers, is finding the right move and the right timing to get around one another. Here you see Chris Murphy with a great exit out of turn number 4, but he's going to have to draft beautifully with the 81 of Osborne. There he goes, diving to the inside with all that momentum. Murph to the inside of Jumpman in the 8-1 Mustang. There goes Chris Murphy. He's got 9th from Osborne in the 81. Adam Taylor losing 16th position to Papa Bear Campbell, and Taylor dropping to the end of the field right now. The Kentucky native looking to move on just a bit further on. Maybe he's lost just a little bit of that mojo, or he's possibly trying to save tires early on in this run. Some of these drivers were saying that the cars will be screaming out for fresh tires after the first 10 laps, and you can see that in Corey Blevins' pace as it has slowed dramatically over the last couple of laps. 12 laps now complete from iRacing's Indianapolis. The order remains 4-8, 2-6, 1-4, Chevy, Toyota, Ford, your top 3 at the racing capital of the world. Nate Lehman just saving his stuff for the time being. Drivers will be able to go between 20 and 30 laps on one pit run if they can stretch the tires that long. They've only got 4 changes in this race, and it's a bit of a marathon, this race. 203 miles, the scheduled distance. 81 laps around this 2.5-mile oval will take us that far. And they've been racing here on these hallowed grounds since 1909. The first race here wasn't even a motor vehicle race, it was air balloons. They raced air balloons from this site. The first motor race was a motorcycle race. And then, of course, I believe, someone correct me if I'm wrong, the first Indianapolis 500-mile event was in 1911. Over 100 of those events have been run here. Turned down for what? Just a few events to its name at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but putting on a good show thus far. Corey Blevins leading the majority of laps. Hunter Peach, Nate Lehman still sitting in order, 2nd and 3rd. Matt Boone now coming up behind John Osborne in that 81 car. This is going to be the move for the 10th position if Matt Boone can find his way around the 8-1. There he goes to the inside, using all that draft that he can to get around the Air Jordan Ford, the Wisconsin driver, making moves on Osborne and clears him. Matt Boone, our hardest charger of the race. He's gone up 6 places. 6 places from where he started this race. He's in 10th and only 1 second behind Chris Murphy in that 9th position. We talked about the points earlier. Murph sitting 26 markers behind Nate Lehman with just over 7 races to go, but the gap to 3rd even tighter, only 10 points behind Chris Murphy. Jose Ruiz and Corey Blevins tied for the 3rd position right now. Ruiz running 7th and Corey Blevins running 1st at the moment, but that gap dwindling now that the 2-6 of Hunter Peach has caught his draft. Dale Fan 8 in the chat says, "Go Byron." Byron Jones sitting 13th at the moment behind Jeff Lednum, and he's watching Jeff Lednum get a bit closer to John Osborne at the front. Corey Blevins watching his lead shrink. Hunter Peach starting to catch up, as is Braden Holt. Last week's winner in the Valvoline Camaro has Josh Arnold behind him by 1 second, and J. Paul Arnold has company because Kyle Taub, in his Mark Martin-inspired KT Designs Mustang, is knocking on the door for a spot in the top 5. Caution-free so far at Indianapolis. Hunter Peach not yet able to make a move. Josh Arnold still staying stagnant at the front, waiting for the 16 to jump first. Meanwhile, Steven Brinnick in the 1-2 Napa Chevy gets around his Camaro cohort. Brinnick's up to 14th. Enrique Quiñones is down to the 15th position. Papa Bear Campbell starting to reel in the one they call Q-Dog. The 7-1 Tiger Town Trucking Ford sitting 16th of 17 pilots at the moment. How long will Blevins be able to hold on? And will Corey be able to hold on before the pit stop cycles strike? Again, according to those di9 designed track facts, drivers will be looking between 20 and 30 laps to bring in their hot rods for tires and fuel, but they've got to manage it carefully. They only get 4 changes in this race. Corey Blevins sailing into turn number 1 at a crisp 190 some miles an hour. Hunter Peach, Nate Lehman starting to make moves behind him. There you can see drivers just floating out of turn number 2, looking for the correct run to make. Josh Arnold starting to lose the tail end of the top 4, while Kyle Taub gets closer to him, and Nate Lehman in that 14 Midas Ford. He wants his 3rd win of the season, and he's looking to extend that points lead. We'll have 7 rounds remaining in this 16-race season. Once the checkered flag flies tonight, absolutely anything is possible with still plenty of racing to go. Corey Blevins, his lead is in danger. The 4.8 flat-out Motorsports Camaro has the 2.6 Green Supra of Hunter Peach right in his wake. Let's ride along shotgun with Peach. Hunter Peach still remains in that 2nd spot. Corey Blevins defending bravely. 20 1/2 laps into this race. How long can he hold on? Nate Lehman also waiting for one of these race cars to dive down pit road. Further on back, Jose Ruiz in the 2.3 has caught J. Paul Arnold in the 2.2. Will the 2.3 Dr. Pepper Supra make a move on the Pennzoil Ford? Everybody barreling down this front straight. Enrique Quiñones has decided to come down pit road, and Jeff Lednum is on his way out with fresh tires and fuel. Lednum still on the lead lap, but there is Corey Blevins now ending his lead lap status. Car 4.8 ahead of the 2.6 and 1.4. Still, it'll be 60 laps to go next time by. Arnold sticking with the inside line down the back straight. Ruiz with aid from the 1-6 of Kyle Taub moves into the 6th position. And Ruiz from Sacktown now working on Taub for the 5th position, but how hard will that be? Will Taub put up as difficult of a fight as the 2-2? And look who's on his way in. Corey Blevins gives up the race lead to come down pit road for tires and fuel, and the 4-8 Flat Out Motorsports Chevrolet comes down that long, slow, silent pit straight. That means Hunter Peach is once again your new leader at Indianapolis. Nate Lehman is furious on the attack, trying to force a mistake out of the 2-6 or possibly cause an error before the pit stop cycle. Corey Blevins is down. Byron Jones has joined. Also, Adam Taylor in the number 5 CarQuest machine. Into turn 3. Hunter Peach behind Nate Lehman. I have that backwards. Nate Lehman is behind Hunter Peach. Jeff Lednam in the 3-7 car is a lap down, but he has fresh tires where the top 2 do not. Is that the floodgates opening down pit road? It is not, as these two will continue to stay out. Kyle Taub, however, decides to get on the binders, and the 1-6 KT Designs Ford is on his way in. Murph coming down as well. The 2-1 Safeway Supra says it's time for some refreshments, and the Washington native will elect to choose 4 fresh Goodyears and a full tank of Sunoco race fuel. That's going to put Steven Brinnick in the top 10. The Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet is 9 seconds behind the Jumpman, John Osborne, in the UNC 8-1 Air Jordan Ford. Cole Snyder, however, does not have as big of a cushion as he'd like. Matt Boone has been on a tear all race long, slowly but surely picking off his rivals one by one. Boone now working on Snyder for the 6th position. Nate Lehman is in. Points leader Nate Lehman decides to bring his Midas Ford in, and look who's joining him. The 2-2 is on his way in. The 2-4 of Cole Snyder comes in, followed by the 3-8 of Matt Boone. All of these drivers coming down for tires and fuel. That leaves only the top 4 of Hunter Peach, Braden Holt, Jose Ruiz, and John Osborne, who have not come down pit road. We know that Ruiz in the 2-3 loves to extend his tires as far as possible. Bit of a gamble for the 2-3. He's going to lose time, but it could pay off if he can cut his pit stops just a few laps shorter on that last stint. Braden Holt finds himself 1 3/4 seconds behind race leader Hunter Peach, who is bringing his Ream Supra down pit road. Braden Holt will follow suit, as will Jose Ruiz. What about John Osborne in the 8-1 car? Will he bring his UNC Ford down pit road? And he will. So Corey Blevins, with a 54.26, running his personal fastest lap of the race. He's going to come around to re-inherit that lead. He's got a 5.7 second advantage on Nate Lehman. The difference between these drivers, Blevins, his pit stop took 1.5 seconds shorter than Nate Lehman, and he spent 1.1 seconds less on pit road than Nate Lehman. Corey Blevins re-inherits the lead. Car 48 is the new leader at Indianapolis with an astonishing 5.5 second advantage to Nate Lehman. And if this race goes green the whole way or ends on a long green flag run, you've got to assume that pit strategy like this will be paramount for Corey Blevins. Points leader Nate Lehman left in the 48's dust. It's his mountain to climb now, and there you see this mess of cars just exiting pit road. All of these cars having to zipper into a straight line. Josh Arnold in the 2-2 sits in 4th. Hunter Peach just behind him. Matt Boone coming out of pit road in the 6th position. He's up 10 places from where he started. Braden Holt in 7th. Chris Murphy in 8th. Jose Ruiz, who came down pit road in the top 3. He's 9th, Cole Snyder in 10th. Nate Lehman just went purple, 54 seconds flat, the fastest lap of tonight's race. He's still fewer than 5 seconds behind Nate Lehman, 4.9, and he's slowly chipping away at that gap. But what will it do to the tires? Is Corey Blevins on cruise control, just waiting for the 14 to catch him up on this next run? Kyle Taub finds himself 2.3 seconds behind Nate Lehman. No draft help for him, and Hunter Peach is slowly reeling him in. But look at this single file procession of competitive race cars behind them all. Chris Murphy in the 2-1 has the draft of Wisconsin's Matt Boone in the 3-8. Braden Holt, the Valvoline Chevrolet, trying to draft with Josh Arnold in that 2-2. And there is Hunter Peach sitting in 4th. All of these drivers moving a sight quicker than Kyle Taub. Braden Holt, however, all over the back end of Josh Arnold. Arnold in the 2-2, trying to defend from the 5-4 of Holt. Does Braden see daylight headed into 3? He blinks is what he does. Is the internet stable to continue? Arnold lives to fight another lap. Kyle Taub has a 2.76 second advantage to Hunter Peach behind him. And over the last 5 laps, you can see Peach, that last time around, quicker by almost 0.4 of a second. That time around, lap 27 completed, and Hunter Peach quicker by almost a half second over Kyle Taub and the 1.6 KT Designs Ford, seeing that Supra of Peach just get bigger and bigger every single lap. Jose Ruiz also making good headway. He's working on Chris Murphy in the 2-1 Safeway car. Ruiz now within 0.2 of Murphy. 29 laps about to be completed at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Looks like drivers have settled back into single file formation. Further on back, Byron Jones working on Jeff Lednam. These two separated by a 1/4 of a second. Coming into tonight's race, Byron Jones finds himself 15th in the point standings, tied with Papa Bear Campbell, currently running 15th in this race, as Bama Trama joins the party. She says, "Hey Rick, late but here, fashionably late as always. Mama Vols, glad to have you here. Send my love to Terry and the family back in the volunteer state. Love you all." But Papa Bear Campbell finds himself 15th. Corey Blevins finds himself in 1st. 3.3 seconds the gap between Blevins and Lehman, who has been reeling him in, and it's almost equidistant from Blevins to Lehman as it is from Lehman to Taub. Same gap between 1st and 2nd as it is to 2nd and 3rd. 1.5 seconds back to Hunter Peach. Peach has been making incredible headway. He last pitted on lap 24. Given his last run, you would expect Hunter Peach to make it to lap 48, but this pit stop here is really going to determine where these drivers are going to end up just based on how hard they've been driving. In practice, a couple of these guys mentioned that these tires are just screaming for a change after 10 laps. Imagine going 24 laps on one set. Hunter Peach did. He finds himself in 4th, reeling in. Taub Jose Ruiz also reeling in Chris Murphy. They're separated by less than a tenth. Supra on Supra Racing headed into 3, but Ruiz won't take the plunge into the third corner. Cole Snyder, however, wants a piece of the top 9, so if Ruiz doesn't get a move on, Snyder will. Murphy in danger of losing the spot. Matt Boone starting to pull away. And this 2-3 Dr. Pepper Toyota has to make a decision quick. He goes to the inside. There's the move for 8th. Meanwhile, John Osborne working on Jeff Lednam. That's for the 12th position. He's got it. Murph on the outside trying to hold off Sacramento's Jose Ruiz. They're side by side down the back straight. Cole Snyder choosing to draft with the 2-1. Ruiz looking to pull off the move, trying to cut off the entrance to the 2-1 car, leaves ample room for himself, gives it a bit of a late turn into the corner. Here comes Murph, though, with an attack on the outside. Will he attempt a crossover in 4? No. Jose Ruiz gets away with 8th place. Hunter Peach is now closed within 0.3 to Kyle Taub. This is a move that's been coming. Will Taub put up a fight on the 2-6 car? While those two are getting to know each other, Cole Snyder starting to close the gap up to the 2-1 car. Chris Murphy about to be knocked down to the 10th position if Snyder can find his way around. Hunter Peach trying to find his way around the 16. He dives to the inside. Taub offers defense for his 3rd position. Peach on the inside makes it stick. He's cleared car 1-6. It's now a Chevy, Ford, Toyota top 3. Corey Blevins leading Nate Lehman by fewer than 2 seconds. Lehman has been quicker than Corey Blevins substantially over the last 5 laps. There you can see last time around he was quicker by 0.5 of a second. This time around, Nate Lehman quicker than Corey Blevins by half a second. He's just been picking up that time. And he's 1.5 seconds behind Corey Blevins. If the trend continues, you'll see Lehman make the pass for the lead 3 to 4 laps from now. Reese working on Boone now, the 2-3 Dr. Pepper car. Trying to overtake the 3-8 Federated Auto Parts Chevy. There's the dive. Down to the inside. Jose Ruiz has been on a tear since he got those fresh tires. He's up to 7th, getting around the race's hardest charger so far. Matt Boone still up 8 places from where he started in 16th. Byron Jones in the 44. He's squabbling with John Osborne. The Air Jordan Ford getting around the U.S. Navy Patriot Esports Chevrolet. That's the move for 11th. Chris Murphy trying to defend his 9th place against Cole Snyder. Those two side by side into turn 1, and Pennsylvania's Cole Snyder makes it stick. He slides up the track out of turn 1. Murphy can't put a crossover into 2, and Cole Snyder makes the move work for him. At the front, Nate Lehman has caught on to the whiff of Corey Blevins. Let's ride around with points leader Nate Lehman. He's on the attack for 1st place at Indianapolis. There's the move right there. We break away from the onboard camera to show you the first lead change in quite a while. New leader, points leader, car 1-4, Nate Lehman. He's got around Corey Blevins on his way, trying to seal his third victory of the season. He might be trying to build the coffin to put the rest of the points table in. Nate Lehman has the largest lead, or at least the largest gap of any driver in the top 10. 26 points back to Christopher Murphy. Corey Blevins sits third in the point standings right now, deadlocked with Jose Ruiz. This would be a great position for Blevins to finish. Hunter Peach sitting in third also would be a good day for him. He's fifth in those point standings. Still plenty of race to go. More than half the race still remaining. It's a Ford, Chevy, Toyota podium at the moment. Car 1-4, Nate Lehman has the lead and he's running away with it. Hunter Peach following in the wake of Corey Blevins. He's 3.4 seconds behind. Josh Arnold looking to make a move on the 5-4 of Braden Holt for the fifth position. And the pride of McGee, Mississippi pulls it off. Just look how loose these race cars are out of the corner in practice. We saw a couple of cars take big spills, big hits when the tires started to wear off. Josh Arnold, however, has kept his race car in one solid piece. Kyle Taub also mistake-free in this race. He's 1.1 seconds ahead of Josh Arnold. Cole Snyder sitting in that 2-4 car is 1 second ahead of Chris Murphy. He's trying to work on Matt Boone for the 8th position. They're separated by 3/4 of a second. Kyle Taub now within 1 second to Josh Arnold's fishing reel, and he is clicking towards that 4th position. Hunter Peach and Corey Blevins also finding less air between them as the laps tick on. But again, we're fewer than 10 laps away from the next set of pit stop cycles. And if we do go green, we're looking at a 3-stop race to the finish, and it could come down to who manages tires best. However, we did see Corey Blevins absolutely dominate that last pit stop cycle, breaking out to a 6-second advantage at the front of this race. But right before pit stop cycles, Nate Lehman has opened up a 1.3 second lead on the 48 car. Lots of math, lots of calculations to be done at Indianapolis. It is a numbers game today, and we'll see which driver plays the game best. Cole Snyder has caught up to Wisconsin's Matt Boone. This is the battle for 8th. Snyder to the inside, easily picking off Matt Boone out of turn number 2. Cole Snyder gets into the 8th spot just before the halfway mark. Nate Lehman, 1.5 seconds ahead of Corey Blevins, the 14, really loose out of turn number 4. Able to keep his race car in one piece. One driver already breaking ranks, and that's the 5-4 of Braden Holt. The Charlotte winner brings his Valvoline machine down pit road for tires and for fuel. Braden Holt on lap 41 decides to come on in. Who will join him? Enrique Quiñones still being scored down pit road. He took a heavy hit on the side of that 9 car. We'll see when he comes back to play. Nate Lehman still leading, and the floodgates do not open. Actually, Corey Blevins is on his way in. There you see the 48 car wiggling his hot rod, trying to get it slowed down. He's coming in for tires and for fuel again with 40 laps to go. in the racing capital of the world. That's going to put Kyle Taub into third with Josh Arnold 0.6 of a second behind him. So Corey Blevins will come down pit road. Last time around, Blevins had the fastest pit stop. It was 1 second faster than Nate Lehman, as was his pit stop time. That contributed to the 6-second advantage he had on the rest of the competition. Will Lehman continue to lose time as the laps take on, or will the 1-4 Midas Ford come down pit road for that sweet, relieving fresh rubber? The leader stays out. What a slide out of turn number 4. A brave move for the 1-4, but Nate Lehman keeps it pushing. We're inside the final 40. It's Lehman, Peach, Taub, your top 3. There you can hear the drivers just letting off the gas, letting it coast into the corner. Josh Arnold just chasing down Kyle Taub. Master Killer in the chat says he's on it. Well, you better believe he's on it. You don't have another choice when the pit stop cycles are on. Corey Blevins is out of pit road. There he is chasing down Stephen Brinnick. Blevins finds himself on the lead lap, which you can do easily. You can easily get a 4-tire and fuel stop here. There goes Lehman again, wiggling out of 4, and he'll stay out. Peach within 3 seconds to Lehman. And let's see the gap this last time around. Lehman slower over the last 5 laps. This time around, leader Nate Lehman slower by 1/10 of a second to Hunter Peach in the 2.6. Matt Boone has decided to bring his race car in. Rhinelander's best is in for 4 Eagle Feel Goods and some fuel that looks like Jeff Lednam on his way in, and it is Easton, Maryland's Jeff Lednam to you, bringing his Snap-on Ford down pit road, and the 5 of Adam Taylor will follow suit. The CarQuest Chevrolet Camaro comes down for some service. Race leader Nate Lehman out of turn number 4 with a bit of a wiggle will outlast Hunter Peach on the racetrack. There you can see Josh Arnold with a brave tail slide out of turn number 4. He's going to move up to the 3rd position, 0.6 of a second still behind Kyle Taub, and now Nate Lehman extending these tires as far as he can. He last pitted on lap 23, so you may expect him to come down this time around, or if he's trying to extend the longevity of these good years, he may stay out for another lap or 2. Snyder, Murphy, Jones, all coming down pit road. That's 7th, 8th, and 9th, respectively. The 14 car, Nate Lehman. Corey Blevins is the 48. The 14 is Nate Lehman. Looks slow out of turn number 4. Does he bite the bullet? And no, he does stay out. Wisconsin's Matt Boone, who's running in the 13th position, 1 lap down, trying to chase down race leader last time around. Nate Lehman put in a 5.656 on the sheets. Matt Boone, 1 second quicker than Nate Lehman that last time around. Brilliant lap. Lehman now has a decision to make. Kyle Taub and Josh Arnold come down pit road. Nose-to-tailed Mustangs are here for tires and fuel. That's going to put Jose Ruiz into the 2nd position. John Osborne sitting in the bronze medal spot as they run. Nate Lehman in the 14 car through the turn 3 short chute. A bit of a wiggle out of 3. You can just hear he's off the throttle through 4, staying on the inside line, and here comes race leader Nate Lehman. He's coming down for tires and fuel. Jose Ruiz in the Dr. Pepper Supra will also come down for tires and for fuel, and now everybody watching John Osborne with a 12-second gap back to Corey Blevins in the 48 car. Blevins pitted on lap 41. Hunter Peach behind him in 5th, pitted 3 laps after that, and of course 6 laps before this driver here. Nate Lehman and Jose Ruiz are coming down pit road. but John Osborne will come through, crosses the line in second. He's currently leading this race on lap 47 of 81. Is the Air Jordan Ford plotting any sort of pit strategy? Is he holding out for any sort of hope of a caution? Nate Lehman on his way out. Jose Ruiz down and away in the 2-3 Dr. Pepper Supra. He's got his tires. Corey Blevins in the second position, reeling in John Osborne, seconds a lap. But how far will the rubber extend on the 8-1? Hunter Peach overtaking Nate Lehman. He's 7 seconds behind Corey Blevins. So where Blevins had a 6-second gap between himself and points leader Nate Lehman, now Corey Blevins has an 8-second advantage. Doing brilliantly in that 48 so far. John Osborne decides to stay out and lead a lap, possibly for the bonus points. We'll see what the 81 car does now as Corey Blevins is reeling him in inside 8 seconds, where he was 10 seconds behind just a lap ago. Stephen Brinnick is in. The Napa Chevrolet brings himself down pit road. There's Osborne all by his lonesome in the 81. Through that very lonely turn number 3, Corey Blevins hunting him down. He's got Adam Taylor to draft off of into that third corner. And the 48 Flat Out Motorsports Chevy looking to get around Taylor, who finds himself 2 laps down in 16th. Osborne stays out, and this is the dice roll of all dice rolls, because Osborne now has to hope for a caution, or he's just got to hope that whatever tire strategy he's running pays off for him. We'll see how far he stretches that rubber. Cole Snyder just turned in his fastest lap of the race, 54.38 seconds for the Pennsylvania native. Hunter Peach giving way to Nate Lehman. That's an overtake for the third position. Lehman scoots right in front of car 2-6. It is a Chevy Ford top 3. John Osborne, 4.5 seconds and counting ahead of Corey Blevins, who's just eating up the time between himself and the 81 car. And the race leader finally decides to relent. He's on his way down pit road. There's Corey Blevins, now new leader at Indianapolis with 32 laps remaining, and it is a one-stop race to the end. If you've just tuned in, I'm Rick James. You're watching di9 Designs Turn Down for What? Xfinity Series from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Corey Blevins leads Nate Lehman and Hunter Peach as we've reached the end of our second pit stop cycle. It's a 6-second gap between Nate Lehman and Corey Blevins over the last, let's say, 4 to 5 laps. There you can see where Blevins was increasingly quicker than Lehman, but those were pit stop laps. Over the last 2 laps, Blevins has been disastrously slower than Lehman, but of course, we still have a pit stop cycle to think about. How far will the Goodyears go on this second stint? It'll certainly set drivers up for their money stop, the one that's going to set them up for the finish. Blevins leading Lehman, leading Peach. It's a Chevy, Ford, Toyota, 1-2-3. Matt Boone has reeled in Jose Ruiz to 0.4 of a second. It's another half second back to Cole Snyder, and then 0.8 back to Chris Murphy. You're looking at 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, respectively. We've got 30 to go next time. There's a yellow. Caution is out for the first time. Adam Taylor with a big wreck in that 5 CarQuest Chevrolet. Caution flies over the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with 30 circuits remaining. Let's see what happened to the number 5. My guess is just loose out of 2. And there it is. He tries to catch it. right into the wall. Just nowhere for Taylor to go. Have a look and a listen. The deafening silence, the crunch, and then coming to a sudden halt. Yellow flag flies. Taylor will come down pit road for repairs, for tires, for fuel, and this could change things drastically. Nate Lehman now on the tail of Corey Blevins, and Blevins' pit strategy may have just been blown out the window, but we'll find out how this plays into whose favor when we come back from break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more racing from iRacing's Indianapolis. We'll have approximately 28 laps to go when we take the green flag. Nate Lehman will line up to the inside of Jose Ruiz in row number 1. Hunter Peach and Cole Snyder will make up row number 2. That third row, consisting of Chris Murphy in the Safeway Supra and the 1/6 of Kyle Taub. The row behind him will have the 3-7 of Jeff Lednam, the 3-8 of Matt Boone. Rounding out the top 10 will be Papa Bear Campbell in 9th. John Osborne up to the 10th position. Papa Bear Campbell has not pitted since lap 36. We'll see what kind of strategy he's trying to employ as we get ready to go racing once again. Nate Lehman has control of the field with Jose Ruiz on his outside. We're going to restart with approximately 26 laps to go. Waiting for that signal.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Nate Lehman leads the first lap after green. He's got Jose Ruiz behind him in the 2-3. Dr. Pepper, Supra, Hunter Peach also in the mix. But Ruiz has the bit between his teeth. Only a quarter second separates these drivers, and in this single file formation, this is when drivers have to be most on the attack. They've got to get those moves made because passes will come few and far between inside these next 25 laps. Once these drivers get spread out, the passes must be excuse me. Passes must be clinical. No mistakes can be made. Nate Lehman leads on 23. The 26 car of Hunter Peach sits in third with 2.5 to go. Ruiz running his personal best, 54.14 seconds. Jeff Lednam went green, personal best of 54.49. Byron Jones with a personal best of 54.75 also goes green on lap 57, I think it was. 56 was just completed. Ruiz not moving. Is he saving his stuff? Cole Snyder isn't. He's now on the attack. It is a Ford, Toyota, Chevy top three. Snyder getting around Hunter Peach. That has possibly opened the door on Peach because here comes Kyle Taub looking to the outside, and Chris Murphy's getting ideas too. Snyder dives to the inside, trying to snake the entire field down the front straight, but the 2.6 does not budge, and Snyder survives into turn one. Everybody still nose to tail for the most part. Jose Ruiz just trying to sweat Nate Lehman. 23 and a half laps to go. RCLRM says, go Murphy, 2-1. Cheering for Chris Murphy sitting in the 6th position. There's J. Paul Arnold in the 2-2. Arnold gets around Byron Jones and now working on John Osborne, and he gets it done. Gets 2 for 1 down the back straight off that frantic restart. Josh Arnold moves into the top 10, coming to 23 laps to go. Corey Blevins, the pit strategy master. He came down with Josh Arnold a second time during that caution, possibly making adjustments on the 4.8. We'll see where he ends up. Papa Bear Campbell decides to come down pit road finally. Tires and fuel under green flag conditions for Mike Campbell. Typical Life says, let's go Murphy, 21 for life. They're cheering for their boy Chris, who's on the attack, now to the inside on Hunter Peach. Peach sinking like a stone. That's going to elevate Chris Murphy into the top 5. Matt Boone now behind him. Boone back up to 10 places gained from where he started. Chris Murphy eyeing down Kyle Taub for that 4th position. Further behind him, Jeff Lednam now to the inside of Hunter Peach. Something has gone seriously wrong for that 2-6. And with Peach sitting 5th in the point standings, this is not where he wants to be inside the final 23 laps. Cole Snyder is only behind Peach by 6 points. There will be 7 races to go in this season by the time the checkered flag flies, and car 2-6, Hunter Peach, does not want to start a backwards trend. Peach currently runs in 9th. J. Paul Arnold is 9/10 of a second behind him. Murph has Matt Boone inside 3/10. Boone looking to get to the inside as Tom starts to pull away from the Safeway Supra. Cole Snyder's only a half second ahead of him, and Nate Lehman has finally broken out ahead of Jose Ruiz. 21 laps to go now on the scoreboard. Car 14 with a 1-second gap to Jose Ruiz in the Dr. Pepper Supra. Cole Snyder sitting 9/10 behind him. Kyle Taub 4/10 behind Snyder. That gap starting to disappear. Murph overtaken by Boone. That'll elevate Matt Boone up to the 5th position. He's up 11 places from where he started, and the adjustments starting to dial in for Corey Blevins, the 4.8 flat-out Chevrolet. Chasing down that Safeway Supra, he's within 4/10. Byron Jones, he's within 1/10 to John Osborne, looking for some daylight on the inside to make a move on car 8-1, and he does not take the opportunity. Murphy with a wiggle on the outside of 4. That's going to open the door handsomely for Corey Blevins, who says, "Don't mind if I do." Corey Blevins up to the 6th position. Matt Boone almost on an island by himself. 1 second back to Blevins, 1 second ahead to Taub, who's working on Snyder. But will he use this daylight early? 2:0 to go now, and it'll be 1-9 when they cross the line. The KT Designs Ford looks to the inside of that DuPont Chevrolet, but there's just not enough time to make the move. Snyder sitting in 3rd still. Taub 1/10 of a second behind. Byron Jones in a similar place with John Osborne, just using the draft to his advantage, trying to save those tires for the end of this race. Corey Blevins trying to hunt down Matt Boone, but Hunter Peach now starting to reel back some of that lost time. Car 2-6 within 4/10 to the 48. There's the 2-6 working on that 48. 17 laps to go next time around. Cole Snyder gets around. Well, he's still around the 1-6 of Kyle Taub, I should say. Matt Boone now getting involved with both Corey Blevins and Hunter Peach. You're looking at 5th, 6th, and 7th, respectively. 17 circuits remain this time around. Lehman almost with a 2-second gap. There comes Matt Boone. Boone is on the way in. And is this one last pit stop? Is he gambling on a yellow and trying to burn that last set of tires? The 38 car possibly going for broke. Steven Brinnick following suit. He smokes the right sides as he screeches the Napa Chevrolet down to pit road speed. Jose Ruiz starting to fade away in that distance. Kyle Taub saving his stuff behind the 2-4 car, possibly waiting for the opportune moment to make the pass for third. Brennick and Boone both come to a halt. Will these drivers be able to go the distance on these tires? Is it a smart move to make these tire changes with 17 laps to go? Perhaps they're gambling on everybody else not being able to go the distance on tires. There goes the 16 of Taub to the inside of Cole Snyder. Two more drivers make their way down pit road. Chris Murphy and Jeff Lednam are in, and it will be one more stop to the end. There's Stephen Brennick on the way out. Kyle Taub on the way forward. He's gotten around Cole Snyder for the bronze medal position. Murphy is in. Jeff Lednam also in. Chris Murphy overshot the pit stall. There he finally goes up on the right side to get those tires changed, and that's going to cost him. But what will it cost these drivers up front if they refuse to stay out? 15 laps to go this time by. Nate Lehman, 2 seconds ahead now of Jose Ruiz. Matt Boone, the first driver to start this most recent pit stop cycle here with 15 laps to go. Corey Blevins, Josh Arnold also down pit road, and there is the trend. So it's going to be a gamble of tires versus no tires. Matt Boone leading the charge for fresh Goodyears with 17 laps remaining. Will it pay off? We'll see just how much quicker he'll be than his rivals on worn Goodyears, but for now, car 14 rules the roost. Car 2-3 following in second. Kyle Taub sits in third. Slow sounding engine by the sound of the 1-4. He's staying out on the racetrack, as is the 2-3. The 1-6 is in. Here come the rest of the leaders. Kyle Taub, Cole Snyder, Hunter Peach, all coming down pit road. Byron Jones is in 6th. John Osborne is in 7th. Will they gamble and try and stretch these tires all the way to the finish? They last pitted on laps 53 and 52 respectively. And there you can see 30 laps is stretching it for these drivers, but it will take a gamble if they want to finish in the top 10. At the front, Nate Lehman and Jose Ruiz are separated by 2 seconds, coming to lucky number 13 laps to go. Matt Boone already got his tires on lap 64. Now on lap 67, Matt Boone up to the 5th position, chasing down John Osborne, whose tires are 12 laps older than his. And last time around, Matt Boone was 4 seconds quicker than John Osborne. 2.5 seconds quicker than Nate Lehman. So certainly not enough time for Matt Boone to catch up to the race leader, who's 43 seconds ahead. But a brilliant opportunity to get a top 5 and climb further on up in these points. Cole Snyder in the 2-4. Now trying to catch up to the 2-1 of Chris Murphy. There's Kyle Taub. He's to the inside of Corey Blevins. Each of these drivers with fresh tires and now drag racing down the front straight at Indianapolis with a dozen laps remaining next time through. Blevins on the outside trying to get as close to the wall as he can without scrubbing off any speed. Kyle Taub taking away his inside line, and they'll continue to drag race down this back straight. It is a dead heat for the 7th position. Boone's up to 5th. John Osborne 6 seconds ahead in the 4th position. How long will he last on these Goodyears? Same question to Byron Jones, same to Jose Ruiz and Nate Lehman. There's Steven Brinnick in the 13th position. Brinnick finds himself the first car 1 lap down, looking to get around Ruiz. Lehman is in. The race leader is in pit road. It will be 11 laps to go. Fans in the chat cheering on Chris Murphy, saying he needs to get back up there. Murphy's in 10th. Race leader Nate Lehman now down to 2nd place. Jose Ruiz stays out. He inherits the lead. Ruiz has a 30-second gap to Byron Jones and a 38-second advantage to Matt Boone. Does Ruiz stretch the tires all the way to the end? It would be 30 laps on these Goodyears, the furthest attempt of any driver by at least 6 laps. Lehman on his way out. Now overtaken by Matt Boone. Lehman with a slow acceleration. His tires 6 laps more fresh than Wisconsin's Matt Boone, who's up to 4th. He's reeling in John Osborne by huge amounts and will undoubtedly overtake Osborne and Jones for 3rd and 2nd respectively. Now all eyes on car 2-3. Jose Ruiz, he has 9 laps to go next time by. Will the driver of the Dr. Pepper Supra get his first win this season? We'll find out 9.5 laps from now. There are the points headed into this 9th round of racing. Ruiz tied with Corey Blevins with 258 points. This would be a huge dent in Nate Lehman's lead, and it will blow this championship wide open. Will the 2-3 hold on? Typical Life saying, let's go Murphy, boo Ruiz. Cheering for Chris Murphy, who finds himself in the 10th position right now. Murphy, 3 seconds behind Cole Snyder in 9th. Josh Arnold starting to reel him in. Byron Jones, 32 seconds behind Ruiz, who is coasting into the corners. Have a listen. Just gingerly getting on that throttle. Jones, 32 seconds adrift. Matt Boone, 1.5 seconds off of 2nd place Byron Jones. It'll be 8 to go next time by. Cole Snyder in 9th. Now to the inside of John Osborne. Cole Snyder now finds himself in 8th. Josh Arnold looking to get Chris Murphy out of the top 10. J. Paul Arnold wants a piece of those front 10 spots. How many laps will it take? He's only got 8.5 to make the move. Hunter Peach now behind Matt Boone. Peach with tires that are 3 laps fresher than Boone. And look who's also in the distance. Points leader Nate Lehman with the freshest tires on the field. Lehman pitting on lap 70. Trying to reel in Boone, who's moved up to the 2nd spot. Lehman is loose. Nate Lehman loose out of turn 4. Back onto the racing surface. Slams that cone, and Lehman really getting after it. There goes Kyle Taub to the inside, and glove save by Lehman in the 1-4. Unbelievably well done by Nate Lehman to save that car. Matt Boone now wrestling with Hunter Peach for the 2nd position. 7.5 laps remain. Jose Ruiz off of turn number 4 last time around put in a 59.81 second lap. Hunter Peach last time around 54.91 seconds. The math says if Hunter Peach continues to cut into Ruiz's lead 5 seconds at a time, he will catch him before the end of this race. Matt Boone down to 3rd. Nate Lehman, after that scary episode, now looking to the inside of Kyle Taub for the 4th position. Cole Snyder also making moves around Byron Jones. Snyder's into 7th. Nate Lehman's into 3rd. Let's have a look and a listen at Lehman's Near crash. Just not on the throttle at all. Re-enters the racing surface by a hair. Have another listen. Oh, the car just got loose. Heads up play by Lehman to save that race car. Brilliantly done. Jeff Lednum moving to the inside of John Osborne. There's some Ford on Ford action. Lednum is up into 11th. Chris Murphy down to the 10th spot after losing 9th to Josh Arnold. 1.8 seconds the gap between Chris Murphy now and Jeff Lednum. Jose Ruiz 17 seconds ahead of Hunter Peach. There's Peach in second with Lehman starting to swallow that gap. Over the last 5 circuits, Hunter Peach quicker than Jose Ruiz by at least 2.7 seconds, but more importantly, look at that, 4.6 seconds last time around, 5.7 the lap before that. 15 seconds is the gap. Quick math tells us Jose Ruiz will lose the lead in 3 laps, possibly 4, and there's 5 laps remaining. Ruiz just coasting, being as ginger as possible. Byron Jones is in. There goes Byron Jones. He can take the torture no longer. John Osborne also doing the same. Both of these drivers praying for a yellow flag, as is Jose Ruiz. 11 seconds the gap. There's Hunter Peach with Nate Lehman 1 second behind him. It's going to come down to a few certain last lap passes to decide tonight's finishing order. Matt Boone sitting in that 5th position. Corey Blevins behind him in 6th. These drivers trying to fight for every last point. Now on the back 9 of the championship. Hunter Peach, 5 seconds behind Jose Ruiz. There is the 2-3 Dr. Pepper Toyota out of the second corner. There's the Ream Supra with Lehman still on it, still tail sliding out of the corners. Lehman playing with fire with 3.5 laps to go. Lehman within 0.7 to Hunter Peach. Matt Boone just being overtaken by Corey Blevins. This is the fight for the final top 5 position. It's 3 to go. Jose Ruiz with a 1.2 second advantage to Hunter Peach. What defense can the 2-3 car mount, if any? Over 1 minute was his lap time last time around. He's on the outside. No defense whatsoever for the 26. Hunter Peach goes to the inside of Jose Ruiz and easily becomes the new leader with 2.5 laps to go. Nate Lehman now next in line. He moves to the inside of the Dr. Pepper Toyota. Lehman gets second. Half a second, now the gap. Lehman with tires that are 3 laps more fresh than Hunter Peach. 5 miles remain at Indianapolis. Peach with the lead. Jose Ruiz coming down pit road with 2 laps to go. There's the 2-6 snaking down the front straight, trying to defend against the 1-4. His only hope is to cut off the run, exiting the corner, squashing that momentum. Peach just barely ahead of Lehman. Does Lehman have enough of the draft to make a difference? There's the snake into the 3rd corner. There's the defense that Hunter Peach needs to hold on. Brilliant entry into the corner, but will Lehman's grip be enough to overtake Hunter Peach. Lehman going for his third win this season. Hunter Peach winless in turn down for what? Season 3. White flag in the air. Where will the 14 make their move? Drivers snaking down the front straight. Peach defending brilliantly. Lehman mounting a charge. White flag is out at Indy. Peach, did he make contact with that outside wall? There goes Lehman to the inside. Is it enough? Is it enough? He's got one fender to the inside of the 2-6. Can't make it stick. Lehman now on the outside of Hunter Peach, snaking down the back straight. Where does Lehman send the car? Looking for the move into 3. Does he go to the inside? Yes, he turns in before the 2-6. Does he have the advantage down the short chute? No. Great block by the 2-6. One last charge for the 1-4. Out of the fourth corner, the 2-6 defends the -4 with one more shot at Hunter Peach. Checkered flag is in the air, and it is the 2-6 Ream Supra. Hunter Peach wins at Indianapolis. Did not have the tires, did not have the grip, but Hunter Peach had the defense, and he will take the Ream Supra to victory lane for the first time this season. Hunter Peach unofficially gets the win at Indy. Nate Lehman is second. Kyle Taub sitting in third. Typical Life in the chat geeked about Chris Murphy finishing in the top 10, as is RCLM4. Those fans do love them some Chris Murphy. Brilliant job, brilliant defense in those last 2 laps. Kyle Taub with the bronze medal. Corey Blevins sitting in 4th. Matt Boone in that 5th position. Textbook defense by the 2-6 of Hunter Peach, getting congratulations from all his friends on the racetrack. And you could not ask for a better way to get the job done. A fantastic finish for Peach, and he will now celebrate on the world-famous bricks in the racing capital of the world. Hunter Peach gets the job done at Indy. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have podium interviews in just a moment. Hunter Peach, Nate Lehman, and Kyle Taub will talk about their race. We'll be back in just a few. On the podium now with our top 3, starting with tonight's bronze medalist in the 1-6 KT Designs Ford, Kyle Taub. Great third place finish tonight, my friend. Indianapolis really tried to chew you up and spit you out, but you survived.
Yeah, it was definitely a long race. I made a mistake I think before the first caution came out, and without that caution, I would have been completely out of it.
Now, looking at next week, Darlington calls. You start to make your way up through these points. Will the Lady in Black prove to be a good track for you as well?
Yeah, I like prefer tracks that involve more finesse to them, and Darlington's one of those tracks.
We'll see you in a week. Congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you.
Tonight's silver medalist in the 1-4, Midas Ford, Nate Lehman, coming into tonight with a 26-point lead on the rest of his competition. The tire strategy was difficult all night long, Nate, but you still managed to bring home a silver medal.
Yeah, we did. We had a really good strategy there. Had that race gone green, we probably would have pulled away with it there. And even towards the end, we had the tires. We came out right behind Peach. We were making time, and I caught a slow car off of four at a bad spot, and almost got sent down pit road. So good recovery. That's probably one of the best battles for the win that I've been involved in. All over Peach's bumper there. So congrats to him, and congrats to Kyle and P3.
Congrats to you on that second place finish. We'll see you in 7 days from Darlington, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Our race-winning interview brought to you by the good folks over at di9 Designs, the Chase Elliott custom graphic design page on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at di9 Designs. They post graphics on all platforms multiple times a week and take requests on logos, wallpapers, iRacing schemes, and more. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Be sure to use code DI9 Designs for free shipping on your diecast and merch orders over $20 on CircleBDiecast.com. And now the winner, driver of the number 26 Ream Supra with his first win this season, Hunter Peach. How in the world did you hold off Nate Lehman for that win?
It feels nice to finally get one, but yeah, he was charging hard. Had to block a little bit there. Would not been mad if he put the bumper, but all in all, up and down day, working with Braden and all that, we were stretched it out in the beginning of this race, kind of. We can go to a longer strategy, save the tires. Wasn't working out, so I started short pitting. That caution was, and thought I got in a bad trouble there. We had contact, had to fix damage, got in the back, and thought about saving fuel, so I jumped to the back and charged back up front, short pit, and Griff was just a hard charger. Heck of a battle battling him. He ran good all day, and shout out to everybody watching and you for putting on the broadcast. Feels nice finally get a win though.
You finally have the W, headed next week into Darlington, South Carolina. Not only will you be going for 2 wins in a row, but you also, again, have to hold off points leader Hunter Peach. Can we see you on the podium again? What will it take?
Well, I didn't know it was a points leader, but I really love Darlington, one of my favorite tracks on here. But I imagine Griff, Braden, all of them will be strong as always. Well, let's see what happens.
We will see what happens. We'll see you in a week's time from Darlington. Congratulations on the win, Hunter.
Thank you.
Fans at home, another chapter of di9 Designs Xfinity Racing is in the books. Hunter Peach gets his first win this season, and in 7 days' time, we will see you from the Darlington Raceway. That does it for iRacing events this week on Rick James TV, but stay tuned this weekend as you'll see live pictures from the Talladega Super Speedway, so stay tuned for that on Twitch and on Twitter at Rick James TV. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we